Hello YouTube, welcome to my YouTube channel Anna Bella, and today I am going to be doing the June Liahona 2025 review. It contains pretty much the same articles as the Strength for Youth June issue, only obviously more extended because we follow Christ by joining him in his work. What makes a ward or branch unite? That's a really important article because many people, since the pandemic, have felt that their wards and branches aren't in unity. What joy the news brought. Ministering as the Saviour would. Ministering as first responders. So the emergency services. The United Kingdom and Ireland local pages. Becoming a grateful steward. Difference, another service project, etc., etc. Ministering angels on the mountain. So we've got Utah, Austria, members pieces, Brazil, North Mission, Argentina, experiencing the fullness of joy, God's promise to us. Yeah, this is an extension of the Strength for Youth mental health article. One simple answer to feeling helpless in a war-torn world. Temples, a refuge for Zion. Spiritual and personal practices for mental health. So yeah, it's much more extended. So what do we got? Thinking patterns, spiritual patterns, rest. Faith in Jesus Christ, the end. God's work brings purpose and peace. There's no come follow me, though, in this one. This time. Anyway, we've all got the come follow me Doctrine and Covenants manuals for 2025. So I guess they think the Liahona could be better used for messages from the First Presidency, general authorities, uniting branches, ministering, and mental health. So that's the Liahona for June. I am going to compare it to the Westminster Cathedral magazine. The Westminster Cathedral magazine is done by the Roman Catholic Church and I believe is a Pentecostal magazine. They call it the Christian Lifestyle magazine. It's a Pentecostal magazine that's produced by them, but it includes basically every other type of Christian that is from a Protestant denomination. Some Catholics also do features. So let's have a look at the Westminster Cathedral magazine. So Liahona can just go there for a moment. So this is the Westminster Cathedral magazine. It's free. This is the April. So that's when I went. So cathedral life, features and regulars. So it's all about the Westminster Cathedral in London. Is the London Cathedral. So they've done a Lord Mayor's service. Homily for the Lord Mayor of Westminster's civic service. They did the civic service for him. All about art. One More Step. Canon Chris Vapors. Westminster Way. The right of election. Why are the young suddenly flocking to faith? Now this is interesting because Gen Z they are turning Roman Catholic and nobody quite knows why. So this is an interesting article, and he's with his grandparents there, and he's fully embracing it. See, the Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults course. See, he's 28 and he's not a spring chicken, so it's interesting that religious courses are popular. Alpha is doing really well as well. Fascinating. And then a busy few months in retrospect, so looking back at stuff. So there's the right of election, so those people saying yes, we're going to become members of the Roman Catholic Church. It's fascinating. Conclave, so we've got a film review about the Ralph Fiennes movie Conclave. They did not like it. Basically, the Easter Big Give. And then we've got what's happening in April. So you've got a nice calendar. Oh, crossword, spiritual thought, Easter messages, and then like adverts. So that in itself is very interesting. There's no crossword in the Liahona, and there's no sort of like what services and worship things are going on. So I find that very interesting in itself. So that is the Roman Catholic Westminster Cathedral magazine. When we get on to I Believe. Now, I Believe is an interesting one because it's Pentecostal, but it doesn't appear Pentecostal. In fact, it feels very much like some of the other just random magazines that you'd pick up. It doesn't necessarily feel that it is Christian. Whereas, obviously, this one is, Roman Catholic all over. It's the Westminster Cathedral magazine. This one is just I Believe. So, I believe what? Exactly. So you've got real life celebrities. So they speak to celebrities who may or may not be Christian. One assumes that they are. Teaching views, faith in action, ministry outreach, features, holidays, and classified. So first things first, we've got Bear Grylls in here. Now, Bear Grylls is an Anglican, a member of the Church of England. So that's interesting. He also writes a lot of books that are about faith, and obviously as the chief ambassador to scouting worldwide, he does a lot of basically hiking and outdoor adventure type stuff and survival. So that's his thing. But then again, he was an ASAS officer. So then we've got Denzel Washington is becoming a church minister. So he's entering the clergy. I'm not quite sure for which denomination. So got lots different than a YouTuber's done something. Then we've got some adverts, and there was an advert at the front as well for some kind of course. We needed a miracle. So then they've got like these true life stories of how faith has helped you. So 7 days to make a difference. So Christian Aid. Inside our church turned our lives upside down. So there's all sorts of things. This one feels a lot more gritty. Hope on the highway of exploitation, a lot more gritty. So we've got sexual trafficking, and a lot more relevant and a lot more current, because this reminds me of the good and the beautiful homeschool curriculum. Bless it. So we've also got like advertisements for books that people have put. And then we've got 12 key results from the resurrection. So you can read about that. Evidence for the resurrection, the only explanation. This is the year of hope, hope in politics. So this is about a Christian pressure group, the Evangelical Alliance. So that's not even Pentecostal. It's saying how they influence politics, or how they keep Christianity in politics in the UK, which is an interesting perspective. We are now living in Babylon. We are now living in a Babylon-like society. How authentic are you? So there's all sorts. Oh, and then we've got some recipes. See, Liahona does not have recipes. Westminster does not have recipes, but this one does. Call to serve. So we've got celebrating 70 years of ministering service. Flames of revival burning in Sarawak. And then we've got, so this is, all a bit World War II-y. Heroes of the faith. So different faith heroes. Modern ones as well. So that's quite interesting. What's your spiritual temperament? The power of speaking life. Then you've got sort of like Christian holidays that you can go on, which is nice. We need international action over slaughter. I was given a death sentence for my faith. Open door. So charity, Christian charities. What are we peacekeepers or peacemakers? And then we've got a whole puzzle section. Note that, Liahona. Then we've got rugby. So this is like the sports section, so how Christianity affects sporting people. And we've got time out, so some cartoons, and then the classified section with the answers to the puzzles. We have a choice when our seasons change, and the problem with the world is me, and then how to subscribe. So that is, I believe, it is a standard Christian magazine, but actually it's made by the Pentecostals, but actually it's got a lot of Anglican stuff in, and to be absolutely honest, you can't really tell, so I guess it's Protestant. It's very glossy. It feels like basically cosmopolitan for Christians, which is quite nice. You've got Mel Gibson in it, Bear Grylls, Reverend Denzel Washington, so it's interesting to say the least. This one's obviously very Roman Catholic, because it's all about the main Catholic cathedral down in London, the Westminster Catholic Cathedral. So it tells you about services, what's going on, cathedral life. And then Liahona, parts of it are specific. So like you've got the UK and Ireland pages, but even within those, they're very, very general. There aren't any puzzles. There is not any when the services are information in here. There aren't any adverts either. So I find that interesting within itself. So that's quite fascinating to me. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Liahona and comparison to I Believe and the Westminster Cathedral magazine. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.